What is your dog constantly smelling when they go on a walk? It doesn't matter if it's a patch of grass or a random spot on the sidewalk, they will stop to investigate it. Most owners see this as a minor inconvenience, a delay in an otherwise simple walk. But what your dog is doing in those moments is not a distraction from the walk, but the actual walk. Did you know that dogs have between 100 and 300 million olfactory receptors in their nasal cavity? For comparison, you have only about 6 million. A dog's brain has a portion dedicated to processing scents that is proportionally 40 times larger than the equivalent area in a human brain. That means that a dog processes its worldview mostly through its nose. When you visit a new place, your perception of it will come mostly from your vision, from how you see. But for a dog, that perception will come from smell. Dogs have an organ called the vomeronasal organ, also known as Jacobson's organ, located in the roof of the mouth just behind the upper front teeth. It connects directly to the brain and works as a completely separate chemical detection system, one that specializes in pheromones, chemical signals that the main nose doesn't catch on its own. When you see your dog sniffing the ground and then pausing with his mouth slightly open, he's activating this organ, pulling scent molecules up into it to process a layer of information that doesn't even register through regular sniffing. Two systems working in parallel, processing different types of chemical data at the same time. So what is he actually reading? Every dog that has walked through an area before him has left a signature. The most information-dense signal is urine. A single sniff of another dog's urine mark tells your dog that dog's sex, whether they're neutered or intact, their approximate age, their health status, their stress level, and whether a female is in heat. Research by Dr. Annika Leisberg confirmed that dogs invest more investigation time in urine from unfamiliar dogs than familiar ones. Exactly the way you'd pay more attention to a stranger's profile than someone you already know. The scent mark is effectively a full identity file, left behind by every dog that passed through. When dogs investigate scent marks left by other dogs, they will respond to them accordingly. High-ranking intact males will urinate directly on top of another dog's mark, overwriting it. Female dogs tend to mark nearby, next to the existing message, rather than over it. Lower-ranking dogs sniff extensively, but overmark less often. There's a social hierarchy being negotiated through scent on every block, and your dog is both reading and participating in it every time he stops. What makes this even more interesting is that the information in these marks doesn't disappear immediately. Scent marks degrade over time, which means your dog can actually extract a rough sense of when another dog passed through. Recent marks smell different from older ones. The environment your dog is walking through, it's a canine timeline. Beyond urine, dogs collect scent information from the ground itself, from surfaces, from the air. The direction a scent is drifting tells them which way an animal was moving. A combination of overlapping scents tells them how many animals have been in the area and how recently. Now here's the part that changes how you should think about your daily walk. A 2019 study tried to understand what sniffing does to a dog's emotional state. They compared two groups of dogs. One group did nose work activities, following scents and searching freely, and the other group did heel work, walking in a controlled way alongside their owner. Both groups were active, both got attention and food rewards. The only real difference was whether the dog was free to use its nose. After 2 weeks, they tested both groups for optimism, using a method where dogs are trained that one bowl location always has food and another never does, and then a bowl is placed in an ambiguous middle location. An optimistic dog approaches the ambiguous bowl faster, expecting food. A pessimistic dog holds back, expecting nothing. The nosework group approached the ambiguous bowl significantly faster. Sniffing made the dogs both more stimulated and shifted their emotions toward optimism. The heel work group, however, showed no such change. What this means in practical terms is that a 20-minute walk where your dog is allowed to stop and sniff freely does something to their emotional state that a 40-minute fast walk on a tight leash does not. The physical exercise and the mental experience are separate things, and dogs need both. Sniffing is a large part of what makes the walk valuable to your dog. So the next time your dog stops to smell something, let them do it. It is very important for their well-being. If this changed how you think about your walks, subscribe to Dog Lunar so you don't miss our next video. And tell us in the comments, do you let your dogs stop and sniff freely? Or do you find yourself always moving them along? We're curious where people land on this.